In Abingdon, Virginia, there is a tavern that was built in the 1700s. And y'all, it is so haunted. It has multiple ghosts in there and some really wild experiences. But you know what? Let's talk about some history first. Before Abingdon was even a town, you see, the road that goes straight through Abingdon was actually a buffalo trail, and it was used by Native Americans. And the settlers found that there was a trail right there, and what did they do? Well, they turned it into a wagon trail, and it became a highway. Well, a road, rather. But anywho, so there was a lot of Native Americans in this area. Also, Saltville is right up the road from there. And what's in Saltville? Salt. Guess who needs salt? We do. And so Saltville is in a very important place because that Saltville right there, it helped Abingdon flourish. Before it was exactly Abingdon, it got the name of Wolf Hills. Why, you ask? Because old Daniel Boone and his dogs were going through that area when a pack of wolves came out and attacked his dogs, and he took refuge in the cave. Allegedly, that's the lore. The tavern was built in 1779, and it was along that wagon trail, that road highway I told you about, and they used it as an inn. The tavern was a bank. It's been a bakery, a cabinet shop, a private residence, a tavern, of course, a brothel, and a Civil War hospital. Well, a makeshift one, so to say. With this place being well over 200 years old, y'all, there are definitely some tragedies that happen here, unfortunately, and that might be the reason for the haunting. During the 1800s, when it was a Civil War hospital, they had marked the number of the beds on the walls using charcoal. Well, got a ghost story for you about that. And it happened to an electrician that came in to do some work in the closet in that room. Well, he got up there, put his tools down, got ready to do his work, and he was hoping it was going to be a quick job because looking at it, it was. It was just a simple fix, and it was his last run of the day. And when he was done with that, he was going home to spend a weekend having a good time. But he didn't realize when he got in that closet and opened that door that things would suddenly change on him. He got in there and started tinkering, and he heard something move behind him. The room temperature started getting kind of colder. And he went back in there and started working. Then he started feeling like somebody was watching him. He started feeling easy. And whenever he looked back again, he looked at the numbers on the walls. And one of the numbers had turned blood. And blood was oozing from those numbers and running down the wall. He packed up his stuff and got the hell up out of there. And he said he won't come back. I believe they got somebody else to do that job. And that room that he was fixing the electric in was located in the attic. The attic. Along with the Civil War deaths and the natural passing aways in this house, there has been some unalivings. One of these events took place when a group of men were sitting around the poker table playing cards, and they busted one of them cheating. And that was frowned upon and still is to this day, but back then they took it to the extremes. So they took that man outside, and now he haunts the building. There were also some affairs that took place here, not just when it was a brothel. You see, there was a captain that had a hunch that his wife was hunching somebody else. You know what I mean? His name was Captain Gordon William Rife. And he made his way down to that tavern and he asked him, all right, where's she at? And he went upstairs and he found his wife laying with another man. And that man was Stephen Alonzo Jackson. And him and Miss Rife were cuddled up in the bed together, just like you'd figure. Well, of course, this became an argument, and they got into a tumble and a scramble, and they all went down to the street where Mr. Jackson took out the captain. And now the spirit of Captain Rife haunts the second floor and the halls of the tavern. Another aliving that happened was when a lady, and not a lady of the night, was there when the men were gambling, and she figured out how she could take their money. And so she started doing so until she got busted. And well, they took her and right there from the ceiling. She's also said to haunt the building as well. But the most notorious spirits of this whole place is the Tavern Tart, which she does not like to be called that, by the way. This Tavern Tart was a lady of the evening, and she was downstairs while the men were playing a game and drinking it up. And she got to talking to one that was kind of sauced up, and She went up the stairs to the second floor to her room, and he followed right behind her. Wasn't even very long after that they heard a scream coming from up there. And the men jumped up from the table, hauled butt up the stairs, and found her in a pool of her own blood dying. And her last words were the name of the man that took her life. Well, they started searching the whole entire building. They looked in the attic, the chimney, outside, everywhere. But the man was nowhere to be found that took her life. And to this day, nobody has heard from him again. Now, this tavern tart is still working in the afterlife. She will come up to men and she will grab them on the hind end. A little touchy, pinchy. She's also known to brush their arms. You could hear her speaking sometimes. She talks and laughing. She's been seen. She's also been known to cause a commotion every once in a while. Especially when you're talking about her, calling her the tavern tart in the building. She's been known to explode the lights. Those are the notorious spirits at the tavern, but there's also many more. I believe there was over 10 to 20 that's been said to haunt this place. If you like this video, you know what to do. Right there in the comments and the like button. And don't forget to follow me for more paranormal stories.